Hey all, it's L! How's it going? It's been a little while, but I'm back for the final part of Mad Rat Dead. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't go over in the main Let's Play that I felt needed to be gone over, since, honestly, I'm sure a lot of people would have some questions about it. So, that's what I'm doing here and now. I left the ending of the last video on this screen. We have the ability to play the story mode, we can choose a stage, there's the sound check, there's trophies, and there's options. Now, me being me, I decided to go with the most obvious first choice of any game ever. We're going to start with the options. In the options, you have things like volume settings, text speed, vibration control, and time limit. Just note, this was actually added later in the game. So let's start with the volume settings. You can actually adjust the volume of the music, the sound effects, and that's about it. For the sake of this final part, I'm actually going to have the sound effects fairly low with the music very high. The text speed, well, it affects how fast the text moves on your screen. In this case, I have it set to max. Vibration, you can turn it on or off. I don't know how the scene in Before Mimolette works, but you know, it's there. You can change your controls, so you can change dash, jump, charge, and drop, but I generally like the default control style. And in the most recent update of the game, there's even a time limit where you can turn time limit off. Pretty neat. I actually skipped over this whenever I was first playing through the game, because whenever you complete the little experiment section right at the beginning of the game, it actually sends you straight to the menu, and I felt like that would kind of interrupt the flow of gameplay, so I decided to instead just, well, move on. Just go immediately into the game. And that's what we're going to do now, because I've already beaten the game, so what happens whenever I hit play? Oh? A human? Hey! You're still here! It's just as you think. They aren't here anymore. You actors have left the stage. So, you still want to play? Oh, hell yeah. Really? But they're not here anymore. Okay, fine. As a treat, I'll let you experience their flashbacks. From now on, you'll see what they experienced. Are you ready? This is Mad Rat and Heart's final day. Yeah, so it actually starts the game over from this scene. As far as I'm aware, the game plays out entirely... It plays out entirely as it normally would, so if you hold down the B button, which I accidentally did on my original playthrough of the game, it'll actually skip past all the dialogue. Also, you can hold down the plus button or options button, depending on whether you're on Nintendo Switch or PlayStation, and it will actually remove all the text from the screen. Whoops. So, you can actually get a look at how all these awesome sprites look. Yeah, it looks like it's entirely the same as usual. So I'm actually going to just pause and go to the very next thing that I need to mention. So let's go over, I clicked on stage select by accident, let's go over the sound check, because this is much easier to go over right now. This is all of the songs in the game. And you might be wondering, well, why is it here? Is it just a way to listen to music? Well, yes it is. But you can also click on it and you get to mess with the rhythm. Basically, it's a way to practice the rhythm of a song so that you can just do it mindlessly. Why is this important? Well, it's because every song in the game has more to it than just rhythm. If you go into stage select, and let's go down to 1-2. You can change the game to hard mode by going left or right on the menu of what song you want to play. Because not only is it that you can choose what level you want to play, but you can also choose any song that you want to listen to as well. From a massive list, including some bonus songs such as Outside and 6 other songs I'll be going over in a minute. So for now, 1-2 with Electro Cutie. The reason I wanted to go over this was actually because of this right here. Even from the very beginning, Heart's fate was being hinted at. That's his cage from the very end of the game. I also wanted to point out the fact that his voice actually changes in the ending scene with him. His voice actually changes to that of Rat Gods. And it's actually originally referenced by Mad Rat whenever he first hears Heart speak. He asks if it's the Rat God speaking to him. I suppose I should also tell you that the hard mode thing is more to do with the fact that those red notes appear. The red notes need to be hit all one after another. So, in order to do an action where it's 2 notes, then it would require you to, well, hit both notes in order to do it. And it's the last action that does it. So you can, for example, you can press the button for one move and then change it to another one at the very end. Talking while doing hard mode is really hard though, like really hard. But honestly, I would say it is where the bulk of your fun with the game will come from, is playing hard mode. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be. I also know plenty of people who have fun just playing normal mode over and over and over again, but with different songs. It's really nice. And not only that, with the new results screen, yeah, you can actually do quite a lot. It's fun. It's really fun. There's a lot of replayability here. But one thing I wanted to go over, since I didn't quite go over it, was in the research lab. So for one, I wanted to go over this fact because I forgot to go over it last time. But there is actually a second scene if you kill the human. And in order to go over it, I want to go with one of the bonus songs, which is Top Hat Kyo covering Mad Rat Heart. Meaning that this is now a fake type song. So let's take a listen to that, shall we? Oh no, it was right there! I was about to have the full loop! And then it loops. Unfortunately though, I have to stop it there because I'm an idiot! Surprise, surprise, I am an idiot. I forgot, you can't actually, like, get that ending if you play the game without scenes, so I have to go and play the thing again with scenes. So, yeah. See y'all in a minute. Alright. Now let's see, I believe this works. Now, if I was actually smarter, though, I would have answered with the opposite question. So instead, if I can find it online, I'm gonna go ahead and show what's on screen. But if there's nothing on the screen, then you know what happened. I couldn't find anything online. But we'll see. So, let's start with the first major thing that I need to talk about. The heart-pounding edition of the game. This is an edition of the game that you could buy at some point from NIS's store. It came with the game, a cassette with the songs Rat's Dream, Heart's Beat, Cheddar Chaser, Bad Feeling, Cheesy Trap, One Day at Laboratory, Stilton, Plash Plop Gurgle, Mad Heart, and Call Me Jack on side A, with Breath of Forest, Dancing Wind, Underground Hug, Dark Fear, Passion in Blue, Cottage House, Kind of Hope, New Chattel, and Sprinting Night on side B. As well as that, it came with a digital version of all of those songs, and it came with a digital art book, which I will hopefully be showing on screen right now. This art book has so much cool stuff in it. For one, it has individually, like, awesome art renders of each character that you can use for artwork or whatever you want. It has concept art of some of the nightmares. It even has so much artwork of the mob rats and what they could have potentially looked like. Honestly, it's all just super cool. They've also got some artwork for some of the backgrounds of the game, and there's even some of them that aren't even used in the game, which makes me wonder what could have been, you know? And then, of course, finally, there's a little special bit of artwork of Mad Rat, Heart, and Rat God all grooving in a car. This artwork has honestly become pretty iconic in the fandom, and I wouldn't blame them. It's good. I like it a lot. Next thing, if you ever wanted, I'm actually going to show this in real time, if you wanted to play the game without spending the money, if you wanted to play the game without spending the money and see if you want to play the game, because honestly, $40 for a game is pretty expensive, especially if you don't know if you're gonna want it. You can actually get a free demo. If you go to whatever store it is, the Nintendo eShop or the PlayStation store, you can actually download the demo. And this demo actually has the entire first world, and you can play it in hard mode, which is really nice. That is honestly a lot of content for this game. I was able to play the demo for a solid, month before actually getting a hold of this game. And yes, I did get S+ on everything, including hard mode. It was hard, but I got it. There was also a major update. Back in April, if you were in Japan, you could access this update. The update actually gave us access to several brand new songs, which is what you will have been listening to during this whole part. Those songs are Gloucestershire Carousel by Ahisa, Nightmare Road by Daisus Iwasaki, Bowing Steps from Oyama, Mad Last World from Kazuya Takasu, If We Could Be Friends from Camellia, and then the Mad Rat Dead rap, which I improperly labeled as a fan cover of a song, and I didn't know who Fake Type was at the time. And honestly, if you have any interest in this game's soundtrack, go listen to anything made by Fake Type. I would highly recommend stuff like Urban Caravan, Beelzebuzz, Yummy 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 is really good. I like that one a lot. I'm like, there's a lot of good music. Just go listen to them. They're amazing. I also wanted to mention a bunch of the composers and some minor facts about them, because I've gone over the single artists, such as Zaki, and the fact that, you know, the neo-opportunist guy was, well, he was a metal worker originally. Well, I wanted to do something similar, just a short little blurb on who these people are for the major composers, since I didn't actually do that. Let's start with Daisus Iwasaki. Daisus actually originally started out as a rapper whenever he was, you know, just a student. But at one point he decided to change over to just a composer. Eventually he actually wound up, he produces music, or he composes music for a lot of people. The aforementioned Fake Type. He's also worked with a lot of people, including people like Demon Dice. He is also just ridiculously talented, and I would highly recommend checking out anything that he's worked on. Also, side fact, he also enjoys anime, and his favorite character from JoJo is Jotaro Kujo. I don't know why this is on the wiki, but it's there. For some reason, it's there. So, I'm putting it in. I'm putting it in the video. Up next is actually my favorite composer of the entire soundtrack, Ahisa. I believe that's how it's said. Ahisa is a freelance sound designer who creates a lot of music for commercials, television, games, and he literally does not have a specified style. If you go and listen to any of his music, it is always going to be completely different out of anything that he's worked on before. Take, for example, Gloucestershire Carousel. That song is very unique compared to literally every other song in the entire game, and I'm okay with that. It's because of this unique sound style, like this unique music style, that it makes me fall in love with his style as a whole. He also had this little thing where he would put cheese references into every single song that he worked on. So if we were to go over each of his songs, we have Cheddar Chaser, which should be pretty obvious. Cheesy Trap, again, pretty obvious. Stilton, which is actually named after a cheese that apparently, if you have it right before you sleep, it gives you really weird dreams, which is kind of similar to, it kind of makes sense why it has that weird, like, sun, like, shift in the music, where it becomes a lot more, like, distant and echoey and almost dreamlike, you know? Showers is actually named after, well, a cheese of the same name. Passion in Blue, because blue cheese. Cottage House, cottage cheese. Neuchâtel, Neufchâtel. Mimolette, which is also a specific kind of cheese, which I did not know about. Emmental Catalepsy, I've already mentioned that Emmental is a type of cheese, and I already mentioned pretty much everything about the name. Gloucestershire is actually a city in the European area, and apparently it has its own kind of cheese. I don't know why it's associated with clowns, but you know, whatever. The guy also made a song inspired by the game called Fermented Dream. Not many people know about this fact, but hey, it's pretty cool. After that, we have Yo Oyama. This guy has been around for a while, and he has pretty much worked on a lot of stuff for anime, games, and stuff like that. In fact, he's actually worked on Yomawari, the soundtrack for Yomawari, which apparently is not made up of a lot of music. It's mostly atmospheric music, but, you know, he's worked on it. He also apparently works at... He's also the leader of a progressive rock group called Asturias, I believe? But he does currently work with Ziz Studio, who is the ones who, well, makes most of the soundtracks for this sort of stuff. All the anime and games and whatnot. After that, we have Kazuya Takasu. He's pretty much worked on soundtracks for a lot of NIS titles, and he's actually the sound director of Mad Rat Dead, which is pretty cool. Other than that, not a lot can be found out about this guy. It's almost like, I don't know, I can't find anything on him, which is kind of sad. He's got some good music in there. And finally, we have potentially the largest, most well-known of the artists who worked on Mad Rat Dead. Camellia. Camellia started off a long while ago by doing music with Vocaloid. For example, he worked on the song Splatter Party. The only reason I know about that one is because it was one of my sister's favorite songs, actually. He has composed tons of songs, and he's actually an Undertale fan, believe it or not. In fact, some of his most well-known works right now are based on Undertale. He's worked on a Megalovania remix, he's worked on a Rude Buster remix, which is easily my favorite he's worked on, I'm not gonna lie. I love that song so much. He worked on The World Revolving, also from Deltarune, and like a month after that he released a remix of Big Shot. And then on top of that, this guy has worked on music for tons of other rhythm games, including Beat Saber and Friday Night Funkin'. Yeah, so this guy kinda gets around. I'm not gonna lie. And he also streams. I'm linking his stream in the description just cause fuck it. This guy, he's cool. Go follow him. I love him. But I almost wonder if the Undertale inspiration actually took his compositions further. Listen to the song known as If We Could Be Friends. This song is an alternate version of Mad Rat Die. Mad Rat Die has this very hectic and chaotic feeling, almost like the song Your Best Nightmare. But this one is very epic and almost like you're trying to, well, save the world. I feel like it might have been inspired by Hopes and Dreams, but I have no evidence of this, other than the fact that the guy's an Undertale fan and it really does sound a lot like Hopes and Dreams to me. Am I complaining if that's the case? Absolutely not. Hopes and Dreams is a masterpiece that nobody talks about. Hopes and Dreams and Save the World combined, I should say. Finally, I wanted to bring up the anniversary website. The Mad Rat Dead first anniversary. This is a Japan-only website, or Japanese-only website, I should say. So everything is in Japanese. Down here, you can vote on your favorite bonus songs on your favorite levels. And you can also vote what your favorite song is on what level. But there's another thing you can do. You can place one flower in memory of Mad Rat. Unfortunately, my original flower got covered up. Unfortunately, it got covered up by a bunch of other people. So I'm going to place another one, because there is no limit to the amount of flowers that you can place. When you do that, press on the right-hand button, and there you go. Your flower has been placed. It's not much, but it did make me feel something. Oh, I forgot to mention the rest of the things that happened in the update. So, on top of the new music, the scoring system was added, so now you have basically a leaderboard system. There's the option to turn off the timer, which is pretty self-explanatory, and they also fixed some bugs, like they had this kind of glitch that would launch you straight up into the air super fast, and I don't know how to do it, but it was there. I've talked about pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about from this game. And so, that means it's going to be the end of the video. I'm just going to plug this right now. I'm going to be starting Twitch streaming. This is mainly for newer games that I've not played before, and that people might want my feelings on, my thoughts and feelings on. I am someone who nerds out about games time and time again. I mean, whenever I went over Heartless Being, that song hits different whenever you realize what Heartless Being really means. It's like, I hope to do this with other games that I adore. But unfortunately, not all the new games I can talk about in this style, because I've never played them before. Maybe halfway through a game, I won't want to play it anymore. That happens. Instead, I want to pick games where I want to play them again, and then I can go in and do all the research I need beforehand, and then tell you why I love that game so much. And with newer games, I can't do that because I have no prior knowledge and I don't want spoilers. I think some of the first games that I plan on playing on my Twitch are going to be games like Skies of Arcadia Legends, which I've had for 15 years now. But I couldn't play it because of a big ol' scratch on the back of the disc. But because I worked in a game store for a while, I actually managed to fix the disc and it works perfectly. I might wind up playing Death Stranding at some point because I feel like that's a game that could be really interesting to talk about. There's other games that might be more competitive that I can go over there as well, like Team Fortress 2. Not by any means, that is by no means a new game, but it is one that I cannot talk about on my YouTube. There's all kinds of games out there that I want to talk about, but I've never played before. So I don't think they would make for the best content on my YouTube. So yeah, if you're interested in me talking about new games, go check out my Twitch. Maybe you'll catch me playing something that I've never played before and have some thoughts on it. But for now, I gotta leave it at that. I've rambled on for quite a while now, and hopefully I didn't run out of footage for the background. But yeah, hopefully the promise of another series just as good, if not better, than this one. The fact that I will be working on it in order to do it the best justice that it can is a fact that will fill you with determination. But for now, this has been L, also known as Libra, and I'll see y'all later.
From above, the wicked shall receive their just reward. That'll work.